What's happening, Shredder Nation? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to episode number 56 of Shred Your Body. I'm your host, Jesse James Jamnik. Like every single week, it's not a surprise. I'm excited again. Life is just cuckoo nuts right now. Anybody who's had these little things, what the hell are they? Oh yeah, baby humans, little infants, that life is just cuckoo crazy, but I'm excited. I'm full of gratitude. I'm always excited for Tuesday nights when we get to either share some knowledge that can hopefully help someone, that can hopefully impact someone's life. And what I'm really, really excited about more so is getting to interview amazing people that we find in our Shredder community. And for those of you that don't know about that, one of the greatest things that I think we have going with the ER Shred is not necessarily the 11-day health protocol, not the fact that we know for a fact without a shadow of a doubt, if somebody just follows along, we know that we can drastically impact their life in some way, shape, or form. I know it's a bold ass comment, but if you've gotten to witness and talk to the people and hear the stories of people that have literally come alive where they almost gave up on life, they stepped back and they were like, I have tried so many freaking things. I have done so much stuff. I'm just done. Like, they throw up their hands and they're done. I just met a person the other day who's going to be joining us right after Christmas, who is in that position where they're just like, I'm done. Like, I've tried it all. We get to witness those types of people, and really all types of people, from I think in their mid 80s all the way down to legit children, just break through and come alive and have this realization. And I'm so freaking pumped about that because it lies in my passion. Years back, I was able to get smacked across the face and have this realization through a lot of failure, trials, tribulations, really just how powerful of a drug food is. And I got to have this realization that I got to stop chasing this magazine image, and I got to stop chasing this, whatever I think health is, and start to realize that health is the foundation of everything else. Like, with a solid foundation, a building becomes strong and can then withstand a lot of stuff that's thrown at it. And that, I feel, is like our health. With a solid foundation, it doesn't mean that life's perfect. It doesn't mean that everything just goes our way. It doesn't mean that we still don't struggle. All that shit still happens. But with that foundation, with the ability to combat the effects of stress, with the ability to have a clear mind, with the ability to get a good night's sleep, with the ability to recover, with the ability to work out and push our bodies and actually engage in the primal way of the human being, we get to tap into what I can envision it was like back then when, disease was low and people thrived and there wasn't all this complicated shit to make us all confused. That's what I think of it as. So I think health is our greatest gift. I think it's our born gift. We are given this. And unfortunately, throughout the years, some of us kind of take it for granted and we get to bad places. And I'm so jacked up to be a part of something, again, from not just my opinion, not just off the science, but from actual real life testimonials and people. Just to get to watch them go. And I mean, gosh, if you don't know what I'm talking about, www.ershredders.com, it will blow your mind when you get to witness people that have lost 50, 60, 70 pounds. And that's not even what they're excited about anymore. It might have been what they started for, but what they quickly realize is just how awesome they are, how amazing they are as a human being. They get to realize that, they deserve to feel euphoric and just awesome every single day. Like, you should have that energy just running through you. And that's our gift. That's what we all deserve. So listen, do me a favor as you come in. Let us know if you're watching this live. Let us know if you're watching it on a replay. We're excited to have you. We appreciate you. I would also appreciate if you know somebody that's struggling, if you know somebody that's tried it all, if you know somebody that was just at the end's rope and was like, ugh, I'd appreciate if you tag them in this, because the more people that we can hopefully get the message out to, that it's not too late, that you don't have to go on some starvation bullshit. You don't have to strip your body of all the essential stuff. You don't have to do anything crazy. In fact, you can do the simplest thing ever. I need you to share that gift of ER Shred with them, because every single person deserves to have that feeling, especially celebrating the holidays, especially celebrating a new year. Don't you dare wait and set some whack ass BS New Year's resolution that statistically has been proven year and year and year again. I've failed. Come on, be honest. How many of you have set New Year's resolutions, especially around health, and you know that shit doesn't last, right? So let's not wait for that. You deserve better than that, I promise you. So with that, I'm going to shut up. I need to share one of the most inspirational stories. Gosh, there are so many in this group. I see so many on here. Kathy Martinez, Bonnie, Kerry Snyder. I mean, Chris, oh my God. Rike. He's a guy, but my guest tonight, this guy, I am from Rhode Island. I didn't say Long Island. I said Rhode Island, which is that tiny little tinsy place, kind of by Massachusetts and Connecticut, the little tiny state that you can literally drive through in like less than an hour from north to south. It's kind of crazy. But then if you go through, it takes you longer. It's really bizarre. But this guy lives there. And I'm super excited for him. He's been part of our ER Shred community now for quite a few months. And since he started, once he was a skeptic, he was like, that shit's not going to work, to the guy that shared it with him. And I love that part. And he has now lost like 56 pounds and 57 inches. Holy crap. So without further ado, Jeff, my friend, welcome to Shred Your Body. I am pumped that you are here.
How's it going?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I know it's long. This guy gets up like I do at 4:30 in the morning. So obviously we're at the end of the day, and I appreciate you, Jeff, for jumping on here and sharing a little bit about your experience and a little bit about your story. So it takes a lot of courage to do that, and I just want to commend you for doing that. So I appreciate you.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I actually have had a lot of fun getting on the Facebook and posting questions and meeting the people. And
that's awesome.
I think that's one of the best parts of the program, to be honest with you.
Wait, so did I just you go protocol and you've repeated it multiple times, and you said the best thing about it is you've had fun doing it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yep.
Jeff, how long has it been? Like, how long have you been on this mission of health and wellness?
Oh God, I used to work out all the time and be in shape, and then when I switched positions at work, I started a desk job.
Okay.
Instead of running around doing stuff and going to the gym every day, and I started traveling and going out to dinners and taking people to dinners and sitting in hotels, and it just went downhill.
Yeah. And, there's something that I want to wrap around that. I'm gonna kind of like store this thought, because I think there's actually a really important concept that you just shared right there that I want to kind of circle back to in a minute. But I don't know you. Are you from Rhode Island originally?
Yes, I've never moved.
Okay, so we're literally from the same little teensy tiny state. I grew up in Coventry, Rhode Island. I know you know where that's at.
Oh yeah.
My sister's still there. My nieces, my nephew, my mom, my other brother, sister, my stepdad, like they're all still there. Like New England has a special place. My daughter is there, which makes it extra special. And I go there regularly to visit her. But it's just so crazy to meet somebody. Like, when you're traveling, have you ever met somebody from Rhode Island? You're like, did you actually just say Rhode Island?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, it's so little. I find that I've met so many people in Charlotte now, probably like a good, like 2 handfuls. And I was like, this is the most bizarre thing. Like, it's never happened before. So you're from Rhode Island. Yeah. So does that mean, I know you were a hockey coach. Did you grow up playing hockey?
Yeah, I played hockey, soccer, baseball, you name it.
Yeah. So you were definitely a very active kid, very sports oriented, like always go, go, go.
Yeah. I kind of took that into work. I did construction for a while.
Okay.
I like the active. I kind of grew up work hard and you get something out of it.
Yeah.
And I still kind of am that way at work. I drive some of the guys nuts because I just like go, go, go. What are you waiting for? Let's get this done. And it's tough because a lot of the people aren't like that anymore.
Yeah. For sure. I've definitely seen a switch myself. So I'm like you. I like to go. You know what I mean? And it's I get it. It's frustrating. You know what I mean? It's frustrating, but I've also kind of learned, and as I, for me personally, like, especially like trying to like tame the mind, I call it, you know what I mean? Like reading these books, like Think Like a Monk. And I'm like, gosh, maybe I could just switch that a little bit. And what, I found that when I do, it's actually like an extra release. And hopefully maybe, you know what I mean, along your path of journey and wellness, and the more you come in tune and work on things, like you find this kind of sense, you know what I mean, of peace. So that's cool too. But I totally get what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So now for you growing up sports wise, did you ever struggle with health at all? Because I know like I played hockey and football and baseball, but I was still like the chubby kid. I still struggled.
I got the husky clothes when I was a kid.
The husky clothes.
The Sears and Roebuck, what the heck were those things? I remember it was for the husky kids.
Yeah, I love it. So did you struggle with that at all when you were a kid?
A little bit, but I was always big.
I mean, like taller.
Huh?
Like, did you ever? I was bullied about it. Like, I was always like called the fat kid. I was made fun of. I think it was kind of.
Not really, because I always kind of had that attitude, and if anyone gave me any grief, I just went at them, and that was the end of it.
Yeah. So you were like, I'm definitely not taking any type of shit person.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm still that way.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to report that I'm definitely that way now, but unfortunately it took me a little while to get that way. And man, that had a big impact. So I'm very thankful that didn't necessarily impact you, because I know for me, I struggled with that mentally for years. You know what I mean? Which is like, whoop, that's bonkers. So, so very cool. So for you now, so going through high school, same type of, I mean, what was the transition as you started to get older? Did you find like, did you slim out at all? Did you start to figure out anything? Like, what was health like that ways? Or was it always like, as we kind of aged and got older, it kind of moved, like, I hate to even say the average person, but unfortunately it's kind of like the average now. You know what I mean? Like, as we get older, we kind of take this assumption like, oh, that's just health and whatever, not realizing that it's so much more. But what was that like for you?
Through high school and college, I kind of got very quiet, kept to myself, just had a couple of friends, but worked out a lot.
Okay.
I like just going and lift and being alone.
Yeah.
Kind of in my thoughts.
Okay.
I will say after my kids came, it was funny. My late 20s, my early 30s, that's when I was my strongest. I lifted 6 days a week. I had two buddies that we were at the gym 7 days a week, 6 days a week. And we did, believe it or not, I used to do advanced step aerobics 2 days a week and power lift 3 days a week.
Okay.
And I was in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
In fact, I was laughing when I saw when you posted that picture, my picture from Facebook there. That's like 20 years old. And I was laughing. That picture was taken when I was right before I chased my son on the beach and blew my knee out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So we want to remember that picture post beach run. I mean, pre-beach run, pre-beach run versus post-beach run. So let me ask you something. When did you start working out? When did you really get into it? Is like, as you
I would say it was like my 20s and 30s is when I really started lifting with my two buddies.
20s and 30s is when you really kind of took on. So sports as you were growing up, and then really got into the lifting thing. Was the gym kind of like, I mean, how did you find it? Was it a friend? Did you just kind of have this thought of going like that?
No, actually, it was. We actually had a gym at work, and it didn't cost anything.
Okay.
At the time. And I started. We used to meet at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning before work when it opened up, and we used to that was the only time we had because we all had kids and everything. So we used to go early in the morning.
Okay.
And
what kind of motivated you? Like, what motivated you to get started? Do you remember?
God, I don't even remember that. It was just more of a friendship, and it was something that we liked to do, and it just started becoming more competitive as we kept pushing each other. And it was funny. Like, to me, legs and shoulders day was my favorite day because that's where I was strong. And then back in by days, I hated. That's where my buddy was strong, and he'd push me. So it was fun. It was more of I'll say a friendship thing more than anything.
Yeah. Okay.
And we did it for many years.
Yeah.
So, and then
I'm always curious because I always like to see, especially somebody that goes to the gym that much. I know like that's a lot of work. It's a lot of dedication. I do it. You know what I mean? I've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
I was fueled by different stuff, when I started.
Yeah. I know some
like
of it.
For me, the gym was
yeah. Some of it was kind of work had changed, and it was a more physical job, and I wanted to get stronger because I had started. I was an electrician. I was climbing ladders and running piping and pulling cables and doing stuff. And there were days it was just tough. So I started doing a lot more lifting.
Yeah. So your lifting was focused more on trying to be better at the job that you were doing.
Yeah.
It was kind of the center. And then with the friendship and the turning and then it just kind of turned into more, you do it enough, it creates a habit. That habit is part of your day. And right. And then with working out, you either kind of fall in love with it or you don't fall in love with it. So it's kind of whatever it may be. So very cool. So that's 20s and 30s. Then we get into, obviously you have kids, you know what I mean? You got the family. You started off, you said, as a network engineer. Is that right?
Yeah, I started as an electrician and started running all the cabling and piping, and then got into all of the computers and got into networking. So I just started from the ground up. So now I after I knew how to do all of that, they sent me to class to learn all the equipment and become an architect. So then I started sitting on my ass and drinking coffee all day, making drawings and designing stuff and traveling around, visiting customers and sites. So I didn't have time to work out like I used to. And from there, it got worse. It just, you don't realize over time how,
So I'm trying to make this transition. So you went from very actively engaged, working out on that first job. You said that you were always walking around, you were moving, physical activity all day. Then you get this promotion, and that brings you now to a lot more traveling and an inside desk job.
Yeah.
Is there something, I mean, was it literally just the fact of not having time, or was there stuff that happened in there that derailed the focus? I mean, I'm trying to connect the dots of where you go from like 6 days a week, hardcore go, to because of travel, and it very well could be. And I'm sorry if I'm making it seem this, but was it that much travel and that much extra, or was there some pieces in there that kind of spun you?
That kind of travel, and then taking any extra hours I could to make some extra money to take care of the young ones. And
gotcha.
That was really I started working 6 days a week, getting money to take care of the kids and pay for hockey and baseball and all of that stuff.
So you're a good dad. So you had a situation where it was basically making a choice of where time could be allocated.
Yeah.
And your decision, your choice was obviously spent with the extra time making money, all that stuff. And then that kind of put you through. So now you have that combination, the extra added work, the stress, the travel, the sitting down, the still probably eating the same active. I would imagine. Did that change at all, or
the eating? I'll say eating. I was terrible at from the beginning. Even in my high school and 20s and 30s, I'd say the 30s and 40s, I got a little bit better. But with traveling, it was like, all right, just give me a Coke and a bag of Fritos and a Snickers, and I'm happy. And I'm
So remember that thought that I wanted to save?
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned something about this. I forgot exactly how you worded it, but I stored this thought. And it's to help people realize, just to have this realization how the body is this miraculous thing. You know what I mean? And even if we abuse it when we're younger, as we're growing, as it's developing, I know I did, because from the outside, it was like, whoa, like this dude knows what he's talking about. But people didn't realize I suffered every day because of simple things that I chose. You know what I mean? So it goes like the body, that's the scary part, is like you can physically perform and do, but it's not until it gets to a certain point, which we'll discuss with you, when you really have that realization, like, damn, like what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like no matter what, nothing's like functioning. And that's how important health is, because that's where it gets so tricky, because it's like the human body's so amazing, Jeff, that we can literally abuse the shit out of it. And our heart won't miss a beat, our lungs won't miss a breath, like especially as we're going. But later on, as it starts to, necessarily fade and get wear and tear and stuff, I don't believe age is ever a thing. I think that's bullshit, especially if we take care of ourselves. But if we don't, as we get older, it's like a machine. It's like that tractor you're always driving around on. You know what I mean? Like if you don't grease the joints and you don't change the oil and you don't service that amazing piece of equipment, even it's going to break down. And that's kind of what happened. So for you, like, when was this realization for you?
I'll say
that maybe something had to change.
Yeah. And when all that happened, I kind of got consumed with the new job and making money and planning for retirement and making sure the family was all set, and succeeded there. And the kids are older now. I mean, my boys are in there, what's 20, 29 and 23, so I don't have that to worry about anymore, but we moved, and we moved to a property that we have 5 acres, and I love being outside and doing work and whatnot. And it got to the point I had a hard time bending over to pick up stones and sticks, and it was just I hurt in the next morning, and I couldn't last outside for more than an hour or so. I always had to call my sons to help me, or my wife. I couldn't do anything alone. And how
did that make you feel?
I was not depressed, but I was like, man, I used to be able to do all of this and be outside all day chopping wood or doing whatever, and it didn't bother me. And now I can't do shit, and it was frustrating. And it finally hit the point. It was right before COVID started. I started going back to the gym in the morning, and the gyms all started closing down, as everyone knows.
Yeah.
And I started. My wife got me to go out and buy a NordicTrack treadmill, and I started going down there, and I'd go 20 minutes, half an hour, just a little light walk, just to do something every day.
Yeah.
And it was tough. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, no, for sure. So did you when you had this realization, was the first instinct like, oh my God, I got to get to the gym?
Yeah.
That's what you knew, right? Like that was the first thing is like, I got to get my lazy ass going or whatever story. I could imagine you being the hard ass you are. I'm sure you have these conversations with you in your head.
Oh yeah.
I know
I
I do.
argued. I had a couple arguments with myself, and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was
Some
funny.
few choice words, so to speak, with yourself.
Yeah. It was very blunt. But
Yeah,
what I found is that the physical part was actually came easier than the mental part of it.
for sure.
And it was just like to keep motivated and keep going. And then, I kind of got discouraged because I was doing well with the physical part, but I really wasn't. I was feeling better. Like I didn't hurt. I knew my body was starting to get back into shape.
Yep.
I really wasn't losing weight.
Yep.
And um, I work with Don, and Don would be on some calls, and he'd see me in my gym
So
clothes.
just that part, just real quick. So so you have this realization, your first thing is to go to the gym. At that point, you didn't change anything else. You didn't change what you were eating.
No.
You didn't look at the food that you were putting in your body.
No.
So you're hurting. And the first thing is, okay, I need to go work out.
Yeah.
How many people do this? How many millions of people fall into this trap where it's like, my body's hurting, it's crying, it's desperately needs something, and I'm going to go create more physical abuse for it.
Yeah.
I know. That's what we've been trained to think, right? Is like, we're in the position we're in because we're lazy.
Yeah.
Because we're lazy. We're not working out. We're not doing that. And while that's definitely a intricate piece of the puzzle, I think it's about this big. And I love to work out. Like it's my drug. It saved my life. You know what I mean? Like my day is shit if I don't work out. So I totally get it. But your first thought, and I just wanted to stop you for 1 second and point that out, because I think a lot of people can learn from the next part of this, Jeff. And this is where I'm so thankful that you're willing to share what's happened, because you work with Don, who's another amazing ER shredder.
Yeah.
Love Don. He's a very positive, very motivating guy. And you guys connected. He saw you posting workouts and stuff, right?
Yeah. Like we would get on video calls, and I'd be in my sweaty workout stuff in the morning, and he'd be, how's your workout? And we just, we became friends and started talking about our workouts and whatnot. And I started talking to him like how I was discouraged. My workouts were great and I was feeling good, but I'm not really losing weight, and I still kind of hurt. And he started talking to me about the program.
Yeah, about the ER shred.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm
what kind of things did he share with you? Like, how did he start talking to you about?
He started talking to me about how diet plays a big part along with the exercise, and I need the nutrients and the food and whatnot. And because I had told him, I said, I'm probably just going to go to GNC and pick up some protein, just start doing a shake for breakfast and lunch. And because I really didn't realize it until I started the program how, I'd work out, and then I'd have something for breakfast, and then I'd have some leftovers at lunch, and I never paid attention. Every time I went, and I have 3 dogs here with me, and I'd go let them out 2 or 3 times a day, and every time I let them out, I'd be grabbing a Coke, some Triscuits, some cheese, whatever, snacks. Never really realized until it's like, why am I grabbing this? I'm not even hungry.
So you were doing it. Was it out of habit, or do you think that it was like, was food giving you a feeling? Because some people,
I think it was
people are, they have it in certain foods. I mean, literally the physical connection, the dopamine release, the chemical hormones, like it's a real deal.
Yeah.
Did you find that connection, or was it just more like boredom eating?
I think it was one, it was like a habit. I didn't realize I was doing it.
Okay.
was just like a habit. I was just when I grabbed something. But I know when I had bad days at work and I was pissed off, I would devour some food.
Yeah. What kind of food would you usually go after?
Cheetos, Triscuits, Cracker Barrel cheese, Coke. I would drink. If I didn't drink 6 cans of Coke, I didn't drink one.
A day, like at a time or a day?
In a day. And then I haven't, since I started it was July 11th I started. I haven't had coffee, tea, alcohol. I've been drinking water, and amp. I drink the blue amp. I stopped. I don't even have. I have milk once in a while. I used to drink 2 gallons of milk in a week. So no milk, no coffee, no tea, alcohol. I stopped. I'll say my wife's a lot better than I am. My wife stopped drinking over 10 years ago. She hasn't drank.
Yeah.
But I mean, I literally Jack and Coke is what I love, and I would have 6 beer glasses of Jack and Coke at one time.
Yeah, this just took a quantum leap and got really serious real quick. So you went from drinking 6 Cokes a day, 2 gallons of milk, getting pissed off, eating bags of Cheetos and all sorts of high sugar, high processed carb, jack your insulin, crash it down, boom, 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 roller coaster. That's an addiction. That's the definition of addiction, right? Scut, boom, up, high, low. And then since you started in July, you have eliminated all of that. And I'm gonna go back in because I want to find out how you got introduced to this in the first place. That story more about Don real quick. But just to sum this up, so this is an important question. You haven't had all of that, but why haven't you had that? Do you feel that like you can't have that? Because a lot of people come to, we've been so programmed in the nutrition diet world that these diet companies, they feed off people's emotions, and there's studies on this and there's psychology behind it. And when you finally figure out like what they've done, man, it is infuriating. It's so fucking frustrating to know the trickery. For you, I just want to make this very clear. Is it because I ever said, hey, Jeff, you can't ever have this again in your entire freaking life? Have you ever heard that from any video or programming or anything?
No.
At all?
No.
So why is it that you don't do this? Like, some people are being like, oh, well, Jeff, like, you're not even enjoying life anymore. You're not having fun anymore. Like, you're boring now. What would you say to that?
I have had people tell me that.
So what do you say?
Tough shit. I enjoy myself.
Dude, I love you. That's the best answer ever. That's the same exact answer that I would give.
And don't get me wrong. I can tell everybody this right now. I am not the strictest person. I can tell you that this works.
Yeah.
I still occasionally have something like.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one thing. Ice cream. I love ice cream.
Okay.
Not right now because we're in a shred.
Yeah.
But during maintenance, I'll have ice cream at night.
Okay.
I love sherbet ice cream.
Yeah.
I'll have some sherbet ice cream.
Yeah.
But
when you eat that now, Jeff, do you find that you overindulge on it like before?
No.
What is it like now? When you eat it, what's it like?
I'm actually, some of the stuff I have, I'm very surprised. I'm like, holy shit, this is sweet.
Yeah.
Along with the Jack and Cokes, was Sour Patch Kids was my number one. The kids hid the Sour Patch Kids because I would devour Sour Patch Kids. Anything like that. Anything with sugar. So I know sugar was my big. Like when I drank coffee, it was black coffee with sugar.
Uh-huh.
My tea was with sugar.
Uh-huh.
Sour Patch Kids. Anything with sugar.
Yeah.
was what I
42 grams per can of Coke.
Yeah.
Sugar.
Oh yeah.
Sugar. I mean, you're doing this because you want to. You're doing it because you're choosing to.
Yeah.
You're understanding the balance of creating balance of overall healthy lifestyle where you don't have to deprive yourself. You don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to, count all these freaking numbers and do backflips through burning fire hoops to lose a pound and then gain it back. Like you're not doing any of that. And your buddy Don, I put his comment on there. I don't know if you can see it, but he said that you were boring before. And now apparently you getting healthy is now your he said you used to keep a big bag of Sour Patch Kids near your desk.
Oh, I did. I had more than one. I can put it that way.
That's unbelievable. So when Don started telling you about this, and we know what's happened now, and we'll dive a little deeper into those because your results are just mind blowing. I know you're not even close to being done yet, which I find I'm just so excited. Like my passion is teaching people how to do this for life. You know what I mean? Like not some random quick little thing that just isn't going to work. Like you're creating the mental connection, you're rewiring the thought process of habits. I mean, you shifted everything, which is just remarkable. I mean, when you think about it, like when we talk about empowerment, that's what it was. But you didn't believe in the ER shred in the beginning. Like when Don told you about the ER shred, tell me honestly, like just be blunt. What was your, oh my God, your face is going to go. What was your initial reaction to the ER shred protocol?
I was like, here comes another gimmick for somebody to make some money.
Yeah.
I'm like it. Yeah.
So you thought Don was just trying to get one over on you?
Yeah. It was like, come on. I mean, really? And
what made you think that though? Like what was it about it that made you think that?
Just because of all the stuff that's on TV and all these pills that they sell and all this stuff to lose weight. And it's just like, I'm like, there's no way it's this simple and I can enjoy that kind of food.
Yeah.
When he was explaining, here's what you're going to eat. Here's what you do. I'm like, no way.
So he started telling you that you can eat all the grass-fed, grass-finished, high-quality beef that you can possibly consume. You can slather it in grass-fed butter and use Himalayan pink sea salt, and you can drink collagen bone broth, and you have these delicious macronutrient shakes that taste like milkshakes, and you just couldn't grasp the concept that was actually legit.
Yeah, I didn't, and I remember I'm like, I'm going to give it a shot.
What made you say yes? What made you finally say yes?
I was kind of at that point, like I said, I was discouraged. I kind of finally hit that point that I knew I needed to do something with my diet.
Yeah.
And I'm terrible with food. I'm just not. You want me to build a house or a car or whatever, I can do that. You want me to put together a meal plan? There's no way in hell that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But.
So did you appreciate the simplicity of it then? Did you like that it was like a no bullshit, like, no, don't do this, like just follow the damn
Yeah, when he sent me the
program for 11 days, like, can you complicate the damn thing for 11 days? And I mean, did you appreciate that part of it?
Oh, when I looked at it, I'm like, that's it? It's one page, just do this? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, let me give it a try. And
have you tried other diets before in the past? Have you tried programs before?
I had done some stuff from GNC.
Okay.
It was basically I don't even remember the name. It was a protein shake. It was a meal replacement, and then I was taking some what was that CLC? I don't even remember what it is, and some of that like hydroxycut. I tried some of that.
Yeah, CLA.
CLA.
Yeah. Okay.
And it really didn't do much.
And so you were taking a fat burner. Hydroxycut is one of the most number one that you can buy, and you took that. And CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, but it wasn't obviously naturally occurring.
Yeah.
That you get, you know how much of that you get from high quality grass fed meat, by the way?
No, I have no idea.
The real stuff, bro. Yeah. Look that up. Do some research on that. That stuff will change your life. And obviously, it's also in our shakes, by the way, undeniatured whey protein. But anyway, so that, and then for you, so you start the 11-day. You started when, in July?
Yep.
July. And you were, I know I posted your stats, but you just remind me, you were, where were you at that point?
264 pounds.
264. You told me you couldn't really do any activity for long periods outside.
Yep.
Right. Extra large shirt. You needed, you had a CPAP machine while you went to sleep for helping breathing.
Yep.
And then you dive in and you say, okay, I don't believe any of this shit, but I'm going to do it anyways.
Yep. I'm going to give it a shot.
And you jump into your first 11 days. What was it like the first 6 or 7 days for you?
I can tell you that I told Don I was terrified that I wasn't going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
That I was going to be hungry. And I don't know how I'm going to go 2 days with not eating food. There's no way I can go 2 days.
So you're talking about the cellular intermittent fasting that we have as part of the protocol.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I remember talking to Don and posting on the site. I'm like, guys, I can't even finish my shakes. I'm full.
Yeah.
And I went 2 days with, just the cleanse stuff.
Yeah.
And no snacks, no nothing. And I was having to force myself to finish the cleanse and the shakes because I was full.
That's crazy. So did that kind of blow your mind a little bit?
Yeah.
Here you are.
I went crazy. I'm like, I got through it and I'm like, this was easy. I was very surprised.
Yeah. Now, Jeff, you consumed a ridiculous amount of sugar a day before you started this. Did you suffer any like sugar withdrawal symptoms, detox symptoms, anything like that was nuts?
Nothing really crazy. I mean, I got some headaches, a little bit of a headache.
Okay.
During the cleanse days.
Yeah.
And I just very, very tired. Like I like worn out tired. And I would just go to bed early.
Yeah. Very cool.
That's how I handled it.
Yeah.
I will say that the bone broth was a savior during those days. That was the biggest. And I remember somebody, because when I had the headache, they like put some of the pink sea salt in there.
Yeah.
And that helped.
Yeah.
But the first one it wasn't easy. It was work.
Yeah. Did you feel like you wanted to give up?
No, I had kind of hit that point where I'm like, no, because I started seeing results so fast. I was surprised at how fast I started losing weight.
Yeah. You never experienced that before?
No.
And no matter what you tried?
No.
Yeah. And you weren't even working out at this time because you got injured, right? You couldn't even work out.
Yeah, I had got hurt and I was walking. I'd go down on the treadmill and walk for half an hour.
Yeah. So what was your what's your thought process now? Because before we started, you dove first in for the gym. That was your first reaction when you needed to go. Now you're in a position where you've never experienced anything like this before, and holy crap, you're not even working out. Did you be like, what? Like,
I was nervous. I'm like, I'm going to put all my weight back on because I'm not working out.
Yeah.
And
so you still had that's the mental part, right? That's part of the mental process of the learning that you got to go through. That's why we say it's a journey. It's not just a quick type of thing, because you got to together and work through these processes to kind of have these realizations. And then, man, once you do, watch out, right?
Oh yeah.
For sure. So you went through the first 11 days. I commend you for committing. One of the biggest things, one of the number one reasons that people will fail is because they don't believe in themselves. And even though you struggled, even though it was hard, even though you got tired, you still knew that you were worth it, and you still fought through. What was the community? What was the community like for you at that point in time? What do you about the whole Shred free Facebook community?
Well, that was the best part. Was, I would post a question. I'll say, I have a headache, or how is someone else dealing with this?
Yeah.
And you got really good advice. Like, people were more than happy to help you or send you a message and explain, do this, or send me a direct message, and we can, it really got me through. And I mean, being friends with Don, that was my first call, and Don would be like, do this. If not, send so-and-so a message, and they can help you.
So. Yeah. It's a pretty special thing. I mean, to be able to have that instant access.
Yeah.
And to have people that have already been in that position, and then they're willing to turn around and just give you the advice because they know what you're going to feel like if you just get through, because they've experienced that. It's a pretty special thing. It's really, really special. That's why I think it's one of the best parts about this is that community. And man, it goes so much deeper than just that, but that's just such a special thing to be able to get, all for just saying yes to yourself and just jumping in.
I remember I think one of the funniest ones I posted is, I'm like, on cleanse days, I'm freezing cold. I had to throw 2 or 3 blankets on my side of the bed. I still get, like, I already know tomorrow I'll be throwing a couple extra blankets on my side of the bed.
For sure.
I get really cold.
That's so funny. We won't dive into the science behind that, but there's actually a scientific purpose behind that and a reason. So that's perfectly normal and perfectly okay. Yeah. Just What was the results, Jeff? What was the results from the first 11 day?
Oh,
do you remember those?
I was somewhere around around 20 pounds.
20 pounds in 11 days.
It was about, I gotta have to go look, but yeah, it was like my first full shred. I was almost 20 pounds, like 18 pounds.
Wow.
I was like
crazy,
amazed. I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
And I went, I can tell you when I started, I was in a size 42 jeans. My shirts were double XL tall because they would just keep coming untucked. And as we're talking right now, I've got size 36 on, and I can still, even with a 36, I can still get my gun in my waistband.
Yep. It's crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the whole time, these results are nuts. I mean, you've lost what you said, 56 pounds now.
Yeah.
And 57 inches.
Yeah. Just my neck was 19 and a half inches, and it's like 16 and a half inches right now.
Wow. And because you've decreased the body in your trachea area and obviously in the upper respiratory area, what's been the result of you being able to fuel your body the right way and get those results?
Oh, it's so much nicer. I can tell you, I actually called the doctor and I went and get tested so that I could I'm off my CPAP machine. So I went and got retested.
Congratulations.
I no longer need the machine.
Yeah.
And
what did your doctor say about this? I mean,
that was a funny conversation because.
Please do enlighten me.
She's like, well, do you really think that you can keep this up? And I'm like, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
She goes, well, you're only eating meat and you're only doing this and you're only doing that. And she's like, well, you must be having a hard time going to the bathroom if all you're doing is eating meat. And I'm like, why? I don't have any problems. I go, she goes, you need to start eating more vegetables and stuff. And I'm like, you tell me why. Here's my blood work that you just took.
Right.
You just told me my cholesterol is 105. I'm eating a pound of bacon a week. I could tell you right now, before I cooked a package of bacon tonight, I ate 2 chicken breasts and a package of bacon for dinner tonight. That's what I ate. And
so what was your doctor's answer? Like you asked why? Did she give you an answer why?
She goes, but yes, I said, I understand that, but I said, scientifically, looking at this data, looking at my test results, why should I change anything? And she finally looked at me and said, I guess you're right. Don't change anything. She didn't know how, she couldn't argue with me after I started pointing at the data. I'm like, am I missing something? Is something wrong with my blood work where I need to actually add vegetables or fruits or something?
Yeah.
And she said, no. I go, well, then why am I going to change anything?
Yeah. Were you ever a big vegetable person? Did you eat vegetables and fruits?
Hell no.
You never have. Never have.
I love this. I
so literally the only thing that you've shifted from excess amounts of sugar and processed what I call garbage for the purpose of calling it garbage because the calories contain 0 nutrient density.
Yeah.
They serve no purpose. You know what I mean? Is learned how to shift the calorie intake that you consume daily to making sure that the calories that you're putting in serve your body and actually fuel you, keeping you full, keeping you satiated, allowing you the energy to work out and recover and be a dad and a husband and work outside around your house. And that essentially, like, that's the story, right? Like, that's really kind of what's transpired. And you've had this realization. And I just find it so fascinating. You know, I'm not going to sit here and knock, obviously, medicine. I think there's an amazing Western medicine is brilliant and there's a place for it. But I think when it comes to the foundation of nutrition, it's seriously lacking in, I don't even know where the hell it's from, to be honest with you. It's crazy to me. And even with the results, you know, it does make me mad that even with those types of results, you're still getting told that healthy fats and good quality, dense, bioavailable nutrition isn't enough from the person that we're supposed to be getting our medical advice from, you know. And I just want to say kudos to you for sticking up for yourself, because unfortunately, you know, we get like this white coat. I just must take everything that they say, you know. And I just, you know, yeah, there's great advice out there. There's phenomenal doctors out there, nurses, of course there are. It's silly. But at the same time, I know that they've never learned this part. So just kudos to you for doing that, Jeff. Like, you are your own best doctor. And I want to tell that to everybody. Like, you are your own best doctor. I mean, if you're jacked up and feeling amazing every day, that's what it's about. You know, that's really what it's all about, you know. And this program is a discovery. You know, am I going to say that fruits and vegetables are horrible for you? No, there's a lot of benefit to them. Are they needed? I've really questioned that myself, and I've drastically decreased them. And, you know, it's funny she asked you about going to the bathroom, because when I was 75% rabbit, I struggled to have regular bowel movements. And I took extra fiber supplements, and I did everything that my books told me to do. And now that I'm eating more high quality, healthy fat, roughage, and I've allowed my system to kind of, what I feel, go back into what it originally was, I've never been a happier man.
And I can honestly,
I don't know about you, but it's all good.
I have no issues, and what I see is, like you said, I'm eating better food, and I can feel my body burns that food.
Yeah.
Now.
Crazy, right?
It took a month or so
for sure
for my body to, you know.
Yep.
But now I can. I'm not kidding you. I ate a package of bacon and 2 boneless chicken breasts tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important to say though, Jeff, that there's a difference. Like you're also choosing not just a pack of bacon. You're choosing ethically
Oh,
sourced. It's
yeah.
very, very important. Like we're teaching people when people say, "Oh, you must be a carnivore." I go, "I'm a conscious carnivore." Like I'm not just eating crap. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
think feedlot cattle is crap, right?
Yeah.
Like you make after being fed all that grain and corn and soy and all that shit. Like it does not look normal, and it is the like
Yeah.
right. But if you get a good quality animal that's living like an animal, it's a whole different story. And I just think it's really important because I know you're choosing the higher standards and choosing to fuel your body with that. And as you know, I mean, what's your realization now when it comes to food? Like from the old Jeff to the Jeff now, what do you now view to be the most important part of your overall health? The workout?
I like the work. I enjoy the workout, but no,
Yeah.
I'm watching what I put into my body now more.
Yeah.
Let's have a good steak. Let's have some good chicken.
Yeah.
I love the shakes. Um, I,
Do you realize that? Do you realize that that's now? I mean, what is it doing for your workouts?
oh my God, I'm on the treadmill for an hour. I work out for a minimum of an hour now, and I actually ran. I started running a few weeks ago. Now I know for somebody like you, it's not a big deal because you do a lot more than I do. But I ran it. I always have at least an incline of 3 minimum,
Yeah. Yep.
and I walked for a mile and a half in about 20 minutes, and then I bumped it up to 4.5. And that for me, that's running
Yeah.
at that speed.
Let me tell you something, dude.
And
First of all, I almost hate telling people what I do because comparison's bad. For you to go at a 3% incline and knock out a mile and a half into 20 minutes, that's boogie. That's boogieing right there. And I'll tell you how I know that because my neighborhood is very hilly and I power walk my dogs a lot, like 3 miles a day. And it will take me anywhere between 17 and 22 minutes. I got to stop for dog poop here or there and a little sniff and go. But I usually drag them along. But dude, don't doubt yourself on that.
yeah,
For me, like looking at it's very impressive to know where you were, blown out knees, having other injuries, coming back. The fact that you could decrease all this craziness going on inside you and feel good enough to be able to get out there and motivate and do that, Jeff, that's a big freaking deal, dude.
oh yeah,
And I don't know. I know obviously we grew up hard asses or whatever, but just as from a guy, like I'm proud of you. Like I am proud of you for being able to do that. It's not easy. It's not easy. Any of this stuff that you've done, it's not easy.
no, oh bless you.
Excuse me.
Wow.
But would you say that no matter what, it's worth it?
Oh God, yeah.
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 Yeah. So real quick, and we'll wrap this up. Besides the weight, besides the workouts, besides the inches, besides the fact that you've proven your doctor wrong and all that other amazing stuff, what other really key non-scale victories have you noticed? Is there any bit change around relationships or anything to that nature?
Just been enjoying the family more, but I've got this. My head's a lot clearer. I got a lot more confidence. Like I think I told you, I had an opportunity for a new job.
Yep.
And I was very comfortable. I was always very quiet, kept to myself, and
Interesting.
played the safe.
Yeah.
Well, I decided to venture and take that job.
Okay.
About 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's going well. It's going
Awesome.
fantastic.
Awesome.
So,
And you think that that's a direct connection to this process and you getting to where you were? You don't think you would have done that before?
no.
Wow.
I would have just played it safe and just I'm comfortable. Let me sit in my chair, do my thing, get my paycheck, take care of the family. And I've gotten a little more outgoing.
Unbelievable. Dude, that's freaking amazing. Like when we say like with health is the foundation And from that, look at what you're able to build now. And to know that it's not going to crumble because you have the solutions, you have the things that you know you can go back to, that you can bounce back, the confidence, the mindset, it's only getting better and better. It's just a beautiful thing. So I'm really excited for you, dude. I can't wait to keep celebrating you. I know that you're going to keep crushing these things. I mean, just talking to you, I can tell. I mean, I've coached a lot of people, Jeff, over the years, and I've been through it myself, and I've played the mental games, and man, you're in a good spot right now. You can just feel it. And I'm just excited for you. I'm really excited for you. And I don't know, dude, I hope you keep crushing and destroying. I hope bigger and better things keep coming to you. I mean, who knows? This opportunity could lead to another opportunity.
Yeah.
And you'll have who knows where else you can go. Health has that ability to literally impact all different areas of our life. And you are a perfect example of exactly that. So I'm jazzed up for you, man.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's all good. I enjoy arguing with myself when I'm on the treadmill.
I love it. I love it. So listen, maybe there's a skeptic out there. Maybe there's somebody who's like, what would you say to that person?
Give it a try and look at the result. You got to really give it a try. I'm going to do this. You got to put your heart into it.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, it didn't come to me easy. I worked hard to get where I am right now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But if you put the work in, you'll be successful.
The hard work is always worth the reward, right?
Oh, most definitely.
It's crazy. Some people go, "Oh man, you're so lucky," and I go, "It's funny. The harder I work, the luckier I keep getting."
Yeah. Yep.
Crazy, right? Listen, dude, I appreciate you. Like I said, I thank you for showing up in a group. Thank you for reaching down and showing what this community is all about. First, we got to take care of you. We got to get you right. Everybody needs that, and we'll welcome anybody with open arms. And then this crazy, amazing, beautiful thing, like it sends chills in my body to see the people that have these realizations and come alive like Jeff. Naturally, they just turn around and they're active members in the group. They're always reaching out to other people. They're engaging. They're talking to others. They're spreading the ripple effect. You, my friend, are an essential piece of the bigger picture of ER Shred as we continue to take this bonfire and just make it bigger and brighter so more people can see it. The bigger the glow, hopefully more people can see and will come. And I can't thank you enough. From myself, from Sean, from Crystal, I know the whole board. We seriously appreciate everything that you do.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. So appreciate your time tonight too. Guys, thanks so much. Again, next week, every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. You know where to find us. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, we have our Shred Your Testimonial call. Jeff, you were part of that before. Just real quick, tell people like, how crazy are those calls? How impactful are those calls?
Oh, they're fantastic. There's a lot of good information on there.
Yeah. And the stories are nuts, right?
Yeah. Some of the stories are great. And I got to tell you, because I said it during this, I was very quiet and kept to myself. Don't be afraid. Ask the questions.
Yeah.
There are no stupid questions.
Yeah.
Just ask.
I love it. We'll always be there, right? We'll always be there. So that's tomorrow. There. That's tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern now. We have our Share the Shred call with our other ER Shred ambassador, Mr. Bob Silverett. Guys, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate your time. Hopefully you found some of this of value to you. Hopefully you can take Jeff's amazing story that he shared with us and use it as motivation to get yourself where we believe everybody deserves to be. So Jeff, thank you so much again. Everybody have an amazing night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. See you.
I think